to see you guys. Welcome, welcome. Apparently 11:15 is very early in the morning here in Palm Springs. Apparently, right?
We all had a late night last
Yeah,
night, too.
exactly. 11:15 is 7:15 Palm Springs time. And people just aren't out of bed yet, you know?
Where are you off to?
It's obvious what's happening. I am off to San Francisco after this. I'm heading home.
I will see you
For a week.
there someday, and then maybe Hawaii.
Would love to have you guys. Yes, for sure. Fantastic.
I'll send you a message to Instagram afterwards.
Please do.
And I love that our video is on Instagram. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, obviously, it's a very intimate morning with the 12 of us. Yesterday's lunch, we had 450 people. So it's nice to kind of do these smaller crowds. I like it. It's really good. It's good. This is a demo of our world-famous fried chicken from San Francisco. So our flagship restaurant in San Francisco is called Wayfare Tavern, and it's in the financial district right underneath the Transamerica Tower. And we opened in 2010. We're going to be 13 years old in June. Very exciting. And this is our signature dish off the menu. It's the dish that really made the restaurant famous. And I got to give 100% of the credit for the idea of this to my wife, because I put together the version 1 of the menu right when we first opened, and it did not have the fried chicken on it. And she said, "You've got to put the fried chicken on there." And to me, my gut instinct, hi everybody, come on in. Come on in, everybody. Hi, welcome, welcome. Lovely, good to see you. You haven't missed anything yet. We just finished all the fried chicken. Where you been? It's all gone. That's what happens when you're 30 seconds late. Come on in, pile up, everybody. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Good to see you. Hi, good morning, everybody, good morning. Yeah, now we're talking. They just opened the gates. That's what they just opened the gates. Yeah, so it's the flood. Folks are flooding in now. I love it. I really dig this food and wine festival. Are you guys having a good time here? I think it's great. I think, because this Pebble Beach Food and Wine Festival kind of fell off the face of the earth, and so did LA. So I feel like this could arguably be the premier food and wine festival in California. I think it is just growing. It's getting bigger. We've been invited a couple of times. Yes, I think we're going to make this a regular thing. I think this is nice. Yeah, of course. Yeah, for sure. Of course. California's amazing. So we're excited to make sure we get it from top to bottom, as we say, top to bottom. Well, anyway, good morning, everybody. Welcome. So happy you guys are here. If you don't know the hype, my name is Tyler Florence. I'm a chef. I'm a chef from San Francisco. I've also been on Food Network for 27 years. I just finished my 17th cookbook. I'm sure we've cooked together over the years with all these fabulous recipes that we put together. And I'm thrilled to be with you guys this morning, making what we think is one of our master recipes. So I grew up in the South. I grew up in Greenville, South Carolina. And my dad's side of the family is from Georgia. My mom's side of the family is from North Carolina. So fried chicken was something that I had in my baby bottle growing up. It's one of my earliest and most favorite, most fond food memories ever. And I really think it's one of the best things I can ever just kind of put my head around as far as food that I absolutely love. Like, I'm a fried chicken snob. Like, when we travel around, sometimes I have like what we call a foodar, right? It starts pinging really hard. Like, you're driving down the street and you see this little shack on the side of the road, and your foodar starts pinging pretty hard. Like, there's a good fried chicken in there. And I just know it. We always kind of pull off and stop and just have a moment. Because I think it's just kind of one of those cultural things that's really kind of fun. So we moved to, I grew up in South Carolina, moved to New York City in 1994. And then worked in New York City for about 15 years. And then moved to California in 2007. And then California had a really huge influence, and still does to this day, huge influence over my food. And I think this is a really great marriage between deep down delicious Southern flavors and California sensibility and lightness, right? So I think this is a really kind of great marriage. And I think arguably a dish that probably defines me the most, right? When I'm dead and gone, out of all the amazing things that we've done, all the TV, all the philanthropy, it's going to say Tyler Florence made great fried chicken, right? And I'll be happy to have it. It's a good tagline. So this is what we call California fried chicken. It's a dish that hi everybody, come on in. We're just getting started. You haven't missed anything, come on in, come on in. This is a dish that I really kind of feel is an evolutionary branch of fried chicken. Because growing up in the South, there's a very distinctive sort of Carolina fried chicken, and then you've got like Nashville hot fried chicken, which is a distinctive thing. And this is what we call California fried chicken. It almost tastes like roasted fried chicken, right? It has a really beautiful essence and flavor of Meyer lemon, garlic, rosemary, sage, fresh thyme. Really, really beautiful flavor profile. We think it's so delicious, but then it also got backed up a couple years ago when Food and Wine magazine declared this was the 9th best fried chicken in America, right? Top 10, ain't bad. Top 10, there's some good fried chicken out there, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? If I was top 100, I'd be good with that. The top 10, all right, now we're talking. Okay, so this is a little bit of science. It's like a little bit of my grandmother, right? And so we're going to talk about what this is. Now, we did a home version of this recipe. And if you just simply Google search Tyler Florence fried chicken Food and Wine magazine, like you'll find the exact home version of this particular recipe. What was that? I know it. What was that? What was that, earthquake? What was that? When the room is rocking, don't bother knocking. So that you can find a home version of this particular recipe, because when we tested this, we sent them the Wayfare Tavern version. And this is what we're going to show you today. And I know this is going to seem a little high tech for you guys. I can almost assure myself that you guys probably don't have a sous vide set up like this at home. Probably don't. But I still think sometimes like watching really super high tech recipes are fun, right? So I just want to show you what this is. Now, again, if you just Google search Tyler Florence fried chicken Food and Wine magazine, you'll find the home version of this, which simply takes the whole chicken and bakes it in the oven at 200 degrees for about an hour and a half. And it mimics the slow cooking of the sous vide technology, which is really, really nice. So there's a home hack for this, which I think is really great. Not as exciting for a demo, right? So it's really easier to make at home, but not as exciting for demo. So we're going to be doing the Wayfare Tavern. This is the official restaurant version of this, which is, like I said, it's a little bit of science and a little bit of my grandmother. And I think the hybrid between all that stuff, especially kind of what it looks like when it tastes like, we put the flag on the ground for a new evolutionary branch of fried chicken called California fried chicken. Like, we invented that. It's kind of fun. It's been knocked off 1,000 times. I'm always kind of honored when people delightfully borrow our recipes. My recipes are everybody's recipes. So guys, what we have here is a sous vide stick and a sous vide tank. This is one portion of chicken, which is going to be 5 pieces. So it's going to be one breast cut in half. It's going to be a thigh, a leg, and a wing, right? So it's simply marinated in roasted garlic, olive oil, thyme, rosemary, sage, lemon, and then it's compressed, right? So we put it into a vacuum machine, right? And we take all the air out of it, right? Then it's cooked at a really, really low temperature. This is 63 degrees Celsius, right? And it's cooked for about an hour, right? So protein itself doesn't like high heat. Protein likes really, really low and slow. It's the difference between scrambled eggs and creme brulee. Both are eggs, right? Both are eggs and cream, honestly, right? One, at a high heat, it gets really tough. And at a low heat, it's just succulent and silky and delicious. It's the difference between like brisket that's kind of like boiled or braised, and like barbecue that takes 18 hours, right? One is just soft and succulent, and one is really tough and chewy, okay? So this is the barbecue brisket of fried chicken. So it's cooked twice. So it's cooked once on the inside, and this is to really accentuate the natural flavors, because when you sous vide, you lose nothing from a flavor perspective. When you boil a chicken, the chicken tastes bland, but the water tastes amazing. You make chicken broth. When you roast a chicken, all the delicious kind of yummy fat and drippings that collect in the bottom are no longer in the chicken. So that if you cook at a high temperature, there's always extraction. If you cook at a low temperature under a cryovac condition like this, in cryovac environment, there's nowhere for the flavor to go, right? So it just stays intact. The fat stays intact. The delicious flavors stay intact. So it's the most chickeny fried chicken you'll ever taste in your entire life. So this is the kind of wonderful elements of science, right? So it's a sous vide technology, right? It's cooked nice and low and slow. And then with all the delicious flavors that we've sort of kind of figured out, I think represent California, right? Lemon, herbs, garlic, really kind of fantastic flavors, right? So that's the first part of this, right? So we're gonna take this out in a second. But we're gonna start off with actually the last thing that's gonna go on the plate, which is another really important element of the cooking experience, and that's flavoring the oil, okay? So what we have here is just vegetable oil in a fryer, and we've turned this up to 375 degrees. Now, when you're frying chicken, or really frying anything, you wanna start about 25 degrees above where you think you're gonna need it, because there's a thing called temperature displacement, right? So if you put, an ice cube in hot water, the hot water starts to drop in temperature, right? Same thing happens with cooking oil. So if you put something cold in something hot, the temperature of the oil is going to start to drop. So we want to fry this at 350. So we're going to start at 375. And then when we start putting the chicken in it, it's going to settle about 350 and we're going to be in perfect shape. It's going to be perfect, all right? So that's a really good tip at home if you're frying things, to start off a little bit higher, because if the recipe calls for, frying at 350, whatever it is, you start a little higher, right? You're going to be in better shape. Start a little higher, okay? So guys, what we have here, it's a nice big couple bouquets of what we call long articulated herbs. We got fresh thyme. We've got beautiful sage. We got a head of garlic that I'm going to smash up with my hands here. And we've got all these beautiful herbs that once we start to fry, it's going to immediately fill the room with really just beautiful, elegant, lovely aroma of roasted chicken, right? It's like core flavor profile. So we've got our herbs here. We're going to take our whole head of garlic. We're going to smash this open. And then we fry this in the oil that we're going to fry the chicken in. So instead of just frying it in oil, now we're frying it in herb and garlic oil. Yeah, one, I think, really kind of spectacular flavor and layer that I think makes this a very, very different recipe, right? And it took us about a month to R&D this recipe to get it right. And we tried, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 different versions of it. But once we kind of nailed it, it was this holy epiphany that we had come up with something really kind of new. And going the distance on all these really kind of wonderful flavors just made it so unique and interesting. So guys, we're going to take this whole head of garlic here, and we're going to leave the garlic in the paper. The garlic in the paper is going to be part of the garnish on the plate, and you can take it and smash it out, right? So you can actually have a nice piece of fried chicken with a little piece of roasted garlic, right, for one more additional flavor, which is kind of nice. So we'll start off with these big pieces. All right, we're going to drop these into our oil. We're going to give these a little head start. Okay. Hi, everybody, come on in. Now we're talking. Standing room only. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. All right, guys. Okay, so we start frying the garlic here, and then we're going to start with our herbs too. All right, we're going to drop this in. Okay. Can you guys smell that already? It's fried chicken time, kids. I can smell this a mile away. Like when you're on like Sacramento and Leadsdorf in San Francisco, this is what the block smells like. I think it's so good. It's just like that deep defining, really, really interesting, original flavor profile. So guys, this is the last thing that's going to go on the plate. This is going to be our top garnish, the roasted garlic and the crispy herbs. But we want to start that first because we want to be ready when we're ready to fry the chicken. And it's something. Does it smell great? So all those really kind of yummy herb oils are starting to extract into our vegetable oil, and that's going to be what we're going to fry this in. So we're going to have this like really delicious flavor profile. And when the bubbles stop, the herbs are crispy. You take it out. We're going to give it a little shake. We're going to let it rest on this resting tray here, and then we're going to start our chicken process. Which again, I just think it's just kind of fascinating. So some of the folks that just joined us, where you been? Good to see you. Glad you can make it. But we're making Wayfare Tavern fried chicken. This is our signature dish at my flagship restaurant in San Francisco, right? This is the dish that put our restaurant on the map. We did about $11 million in sales last year, and this is a fourth of our product mix. So this is fried chicken is built Wayfare Tavern, for sure. There's no doubt about it, right? So guys, and again, this is the recipe is a little bit of my grandmother, right? It's a little bit of science. And so the chicken itself is actually cooked twice. So it's cooked once in the center, and this is half of the chicken. Okay, so this is like two slices of breast cut through the equator, right? And then a wing, a leg, and a thigh, half a bird. Okay. All right. So our herbs look nice and crispy. You got to get a shot of this. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? All right. So we're gonna take these out, and they're just like crispy and shattery. So that's going to be, it's like I said, the last thing that's going to go on the plate to really kind of sell the fact that we fried this in herbs. But we want to get that going first, so when we're ready to rock and roll, we're already there in a really, really good place. All right, so guys, so here's our chicken. Now, this chicken, when I open this up, it's not pretty, okay? It's not supposed to be yet. It's not supposed to be yet. But if you tasted this, it's spectacular. We're cooking this twice, once for the inside, and then again for the outside, all right? So this is the first cook, okay? So this has been cooking for a little less than an hour, and we're gonna take our bag open here. And we were just discussing this earlier, because when you cryovac protein and cook it at a really, really low temperature, sous vide, there's nowhere for the flavor to go to. And it's a difference between scrambled eggs and creme brulee. Both are eggs and cream, right? But it's time and temperature that makes a difference between the succulent texture. So this is the creme brulee of fried chicken, right? Nice and low, nice and slow, super succulent protein, okay? So we're gonna take this out, we're gonna drop this in our bowl here, okay? And it just smells amazing. And then when we prep this at the kitchen, at the restaurant, this is what goes up to the line, right? So when we do 450 covers a day and we do about 175 orders of fried chicken, we can't really mess about, and we need like 10-minute ticket times, 12-minute ticket times. So when the chicken is already sort of pre-cooked, right? We're not going from raw to cook when the order comes in. We're going from sous vide to crispy when the order comes in, right? So from a menu engineering standpoint, I thought we did a really, really good job sort of nailing this one, okay? So I'm gonna glove up for this next piece, okay? Are you guys having fun? I love Palm Springs and Palm Desert. It's such a really, really pretty place. And truth be told, I almost opened up a restaurant here about 20 years ago, right? Did I tell you that, Matt? About 20 years ago. Yeah, I was a chef in New York City, and I got invited out for a tasting, and I didn't get the job for whatever reason. I can't remember why, but I saw this coming a long time ago. That's kind of nice. Would you like to have us down here if we did a restaurant? Would that be kind of fun? I don't know. Was that enthusiastic enough or what? Now we're talking. All right. I see you. I see you. Yeah, so right now in San Francisco, if you come up, we'd love to feed you, right? So our new restaurant, Miller Lux, is at the Chase Center. Fabulous new steakhouse. We're gunning for a Michelin star this year. And we have 3 locations. We have one in San Francisco, one in Vail, Colorado, and one in Hualalai, Hawaii, which is on the Big Island, just north of Kona. So we have 3 Miller Lux restaurants. We have Wayfare Tavern, which is this fried chicken is in the financial district, and we also have a yummy rotisserie chicken shop at the SFO in Terminal 2. So if you guys are up in San Francisco, we'd love to feed you. So come on up. Okay. All right, guys. So now we've talked about the science of this, and now we're gonna pivot over to my grandmother a little bit, right? So what we have here is organic buttermilk, right? And then we're gonna add hot sauce to this, and this could be whatever hot sauce you want. Okay. Like a nice little bit of sour power there that's like chili heat. This is McElhaney's Tabasco sauce from Avery Island, Louisiana. Really good, nice hot sauce. We're gonna add some sugar to this for balance. And you want to stir this together, and you want the base liquid of this to be pink, okay? Now this is a really great pause moment in the recipe here, because like when and it's really nice to have restaurants because I can go shopping out of my walk-in. So I'll tell my team, like, put together a fried chicken kit for me. And I'll get the chicken, right, sous vide, but then marinated, right? And this is how I'll pick it up at the restaurant. So if you guys want to think about getting this prepped ahead of time, and a lot of people do, this is a really, really nice starting point. And then save some of the cooking as a theatrical element when people show up, because this is a lot of fun to watch, right? How many people like to fry stuff, right? I know it's kind of like one of those things, like some people do, some people don't, right? Right, especially out in the backyard, right? I mean, I grew up in the South, so it was all about big turkey fryers and catching the house on fire, that kind of stuff, you know. Drinking some beer, frying a turkey. That's me. Those are my people. Okay, so so this is a really great. So you could like almost marinate this overnight or a couple of hours ahead of time and kind of leave it at this stopping point, and you guys will be good. Okay. So the next piece of this is going to be our flour. So this is another element of just R&D and never being settled and satisfied to get like what we call a master recipe, right? This is a benchmark recipe. It doesn't get any better than this until it does. So this is 3/4 all-purpose flour and then 1/3 rice flour, okay? Boom. All right, we're going to drop that in. And we're just going to give this a nice little mix here. All right, so the rice flour, so the regular protein wheat flour will get nice and brown when it caramelizes, right? But the rice flour will get it super crispy and stay crispy, okay? All right, we're going to evenly mix that together, and then we're going to go with our seasoning. Now, with really good fried chicken, again, this is my grandmother talking right now, like it's got to be kind of aggressive, okay? So it's going to look like a lot, but it needs to taste delicious. This is garlic powder, okay? This is onion powder. Boom. This is black pepper. That's right, I said it. Right? And this is salt, okay? So we're gonna mix this together. Now this obviously this batch of flour will cook way more than 5 pieces. This bag of flour will cook 30 pieces, right? But it should be almost like, if you guys can see it, almost like butter yellow, almost like cream yellow from the garlic and the onion. But it needs to be like savory, right? Because that's that first bite, that first taste, that first lick. It needs to be like delicious, right? Really, really savory and delicious. Okay, got my lemon. All right, right on. Okay, so now, gang. All right, so you always want to check your temperature, make sure you're looking really good. We're at 375, holding tight. Okay, so now, guys, and this is kind of fun too. We're gonna take some of our. This is a pro tip right here. You guys are gonna like this. We're gonna take some of our buttermilk here, right? And we're gonna add this to our flour. You guys know why? We're gonna make little crispies, okay? We're gonna make little clumpy clumps of like crispy flour that when I bread this, it's gonna look like unfried fried chicken, right? And it's gonna have those like nice little bit of elements, the extra crispy pieces are gonna stick to the whole thing. So it's a little bit of flour, a little bit of buttermilk. It's always the pre-prep. There you go. Just to see nice little clumpy pieces. Okay. And then we're going to start the dredge. Okay. So we got our leg here. We're going to throw that in, and then pack it on really, really well. Bang. And can you guys see that? You got a good shot of that? So it looks like unfried fried chicken, right? You got like the nice little crispy pieces on top of this, and it just feels so soft. It feels like a cupcake. It's so soft. And it's cooked all the way through. And it's just kind of like one of those elements, like if you really want, because especially fried chicken, this fried chicken with bones in it, right? So we just can't mess around at the restaurant with anything being like slightly pink on the inside, right? It's got to be cooked all the way through. So the sous vide thing was like the genius, like engineering of making this a very successful dish that people just love. All right, so we're going to pack it on. Boom. Will you guys say hello to Matt Massera, our corporate culinary director over here? Everybody say hi to Matt. Matt and I have been hanging out for about 13 years together. One of my best friends. It makes me look good everywhere. Appreciate him. Okay. Pack this in. Now, out of this, it doesn't really matter what piece you get, right? Because it's all really, really great. But for my money, the thigh, that's the sweet spot. That's the sweet meat right there, right? The thigh, that's a sweet meat. Yeah, totally. You guys know what I mean by sweet meat, right? You know what I'm talking about? Matt, you know what I'm talking about? Sweet meat? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Maybe it's just me. Hi, everybody. They came here just for the free fried chicken. Fried chicken's rolling in. Oh, yeah, by the way, we got fried chicken for everybody. Fried chicken's going to start rolling in like any second here. Isn't that fun? That's just how we roll. All right, guys, so we got all this kind of packed on, okay? So I'm going to get rid of this stuff. Bang. Oh yeah, guys, we just wrapped up the Great Food Truck Race, season 16, by the way. Isn't that wild? Have you guys seen that show? That's good. It's my macaroni and cheese to the world, everybody. It's a good time. It's fun. Yeah, so we've been shooting that show for 14 years. The 16th season. Thank you, buddy. We just wrapped up. And that's going to be on the air starting in June. Thanks, brother. Boom. Okay, now here we go. All right. Another really good important part of cooking is what I'm doing right now, and that's clean as you go, okay? Clean as you go. Especially when you're getting ready to transition from like cooking to plating. You want to make sure like you've done your prep and your muscle work, right? And you want to get into like the artist zone. You want to make sure your canvas is nice and clean, okay? So we're transitioning from cooking into plating. Okay, so now we're going to take our chicken, we're going to drop this in. And this is a 6-minute pickup, okay? All right, we'll let that start to fry. And guys, while that's cooking, I got some aprons for everybody. Anybody want an apron? Isn't that fun? You want an apron? Did these folks that showed up late get an apron? Who was here from minute 1 when we started? There's like this lovely couple over here in the corner. Who was here early? Early bird gets the worm all the way back. Boom. Oh yeah. There you go. Boom. There you go. Boom. There you go. All right. What time did you get here? You were late. I saw you walk in. He's got a drink in his hand. You were late. It's all right. You ready to go? You got to catch it. You gonna catch it? Okay. Oh, you got snaked. You got snaked. Interception. Nice job. I like that. I like those reflexes, man. Nice job. That lady just took your apron, bro. Took it right in front of you. Congratulations on that. Oh, you gave it to him? Like those Major League Baseball scenes where like the little 6-year-old gives a baseball to the pretty girl? Good for you. All right, guys, so now we're going to transition into our plating thing. Was this interesting? I mean, first of all, we got the fried chicken. Make sure, bomb, right? Your eyes roll back in your head a little bit. Make sure you squeeze the lemon on there. It's on there for a reason. Isn't that good? You know what I mean? We don't play around, you know? We always like to, it's not even like remotely delicious. It's like insanely delicious. All right, so we're going to cut some pretty lemons out of here. Bang. We got a pretty herbs. Oh, I think are we ready for the close-up on the fryer? Are you ready for this? Hey-o. We practiced this shot earlier. I'm a TV guy. You ready? Six minutes. It's quick, right? It's already cooked all the way through, right? So sous vide, nice and soft. That's the first time you cook it. Second time you cook it, it's really about the crispy crust, right? Isn't that pretty, guys? Super fast, really, really delicious. And it's not Southern fried chicken. It's different, right? It's not. I mean, I grew up in the South. All right, guys, so we're going to let this rest here just for a second. Move it over here. I'm going to squeeze some lemon on it, right? Lemon just takes it over the top. That nice big acid lick, it's just fantastic. Makes it so fresh, right? Boom. Juicy lemon. All right, boom, here we go. Middle. Nice job. All right, boom. All right, here we go. So now, guys, we're going to take our beautiful, juicy fried chicken, okay? And this is how we present it at the restaurant. So it's lovely, what they call soigné. And then last but not least, guys, the first thing that we started off with, right? Our crispy fried herbs get piled up nice and high on top. Like a little jungle you got to dig through to get to the good stuff. Like a lion on the Serengeti. Nice big tender roasted garlic pieces. And then our lemon. And ladies and gentlemen, this is our Wayfare Tavern fried chicken from San Francisco. Huh? Huh? You lovely people. Isn't that good? Did my mic just went out. Check 1 2 1 2. Microphone check. Check. Can you guys hear me? I'm gonna from the ram. I'm gonna. There you go. We just lost the microphone. That's all right. We're at the end of the demo anyway. No big deal. All right, guys. I made this lovely plate of food. Who wants it? You guys want it over here? You guys want it over here? You want some more? You guys want it over here? You guys want it?